I get to Times Square, which is the stop for the New York Times because Times Square is named after the New York Times. And I'm walking briskly through the square, and there's an audible gasp in Times Square. I turn to look at the jumbotrons, and one of the buildings, it has, I can't remember at that moment if it was one of the buildings was falling down or another building had been hit. But what I do remember is the feeling that I understood immediately that this was not a mistake, that America was under attack. I was in charge of the graphics department at the time. One of my employees called, and she was in Brooklyn, and she said, "You want me to go see what I can get from the scene?" I said, "Yes, of course." And she went, and soon after, one of the buildings collapsed. And my only thought was, I had just sent Sarah to ground zero, and there was no way to reach her. Every time we developed a coverage plan that day, something else happened. Another building fell. The Pentagon was hit. There were more planes. Planes were then being grounded because planes became the weapons that were being used. Sarah's husband called all day. I didn't even want to answer the phone anymore. I had no idea where she was. I was, worried as he was about her safety. It turns out that she was there, and someone, when the building collapsed, pushed her into an adjacent building. And she was one of these ghostly apparitions covered in ash that walked back across the Brooklyn Bridge that day. I stayed at work all day. My recollection is that we left at about 11 at night. I think that's when the last edition of the newspaper is published. We can't change anything after that. And I got home, my children were asleep. My babysitter was a hero of the day. She was on the bus to get to my children, but school would let out early because of the attacks. There was a massive traffic jam. She got off the bus and she walked halfway across Brooklyn to get my children from that school. And she made them feel like it was a normal day, so much so that my children have no memories of 9/11 to this day. And she stayed there with them all day until I got home. And when I got home, they were asleep. And I woke them up and I said the thing that I thought I should say, which was some bad people had done a bad thing, but they were going to be okay and they were going to be safe. But in truth, I had no idea what was going to happen. The only thing I knew is that everything that we knew had changed on that day.